Good morning, everybody. Keith here. Hoping everybody's having a good day, enjoying life, living life, loving life. Coming at you again in the morning. Not something I've done for a while. But had some issues with PayPal here lately. If you noticed, of course, like I explained in my video last night after I got off the phone with them, this is not something that just happened. This is something that's been going on for a while. And so it's not, if you listen to that video where I chewed Paul out, it's not like this first time I've talked to him and I just went off my lid. This is something that's been going around and around and around for over a year while I try to figure out how to get a button on my page. And I even designed my own button. I have my own programming for it. They don't need to do anything. I just needed to figure out how to get it set up so the donations would come straight through my page. And nobody would help me. So I consequently spent 4 hours on the line with PayPal yesterday. And let me tell you how it came about. Because as you know, well, I guess I can't say as you know, if you look back through my page, you'll see videos. And what I did was, after I finally got frustrated, I sent them both a notice. I sent an email notice to PayPal, and this is a copy of that notice. And so I sent them a notice. Oops. What happened to that one? We'll have to fix that. Something happened to my notice on that page. I'll have to fix that. But anyway, this is the notice to email notice to IRS. And it starts out with its notice to IRS. And just like I did with PayPal, I sent the notice to IRS, and then I sent IRS a copy of the notice that I sent to PayPal, listing all of the codes, and then their 10K filing, letting them know I found every bit of information I need on them. They are a holding corporation, which means they are in fact a trustee, holding the property from the grantee and holding it for the beneficiary. It's what they do. That's why they are holders and not owners or possessors. They only hold. And what it is they in fact hold is the documentation and not the actual property. And then it gives the registrant's telephone number, their state, their street address, and everything. Their Delaware Incorporation number. Securities registered under 12B of the Securities Act. Everything. Got the power of attorney, tells you who the principal executive officer is, John Rainey and Daniel Schulman. And those are the people I noticed. John Rainey is at the head of this document. So yesterday, I spent, not yesterday, but the day before, I spent all day and all night. I did not get any sleep. And I was writing up the notice, the international notice for them. And I've got all the information. You can go on my page and look at this. And like I said, I'll fix the notice to PayPal. Although I could probably just take that down because now I've got that resolution. But I will leave the IRS notice up until that is resolved. For now, we have the PayPal issue resolved. But what I want to point out to everybody here is, this is the point that I made in this call. Because, of course, I'm the beneficiary. And I used a Social Security number, a beneficiary account, to open this account. Now, if it's a Social Security number, and Social Security does not tell them to go ahead and place a public liability on that beneficiary account, and the guy holding the card, the one that issued the Social Security number to open the account, does not instruct them to place liability on the account, then there is no declaration to enter. This is the breach. If they do not have a declaration to enter information from the guy that allowed them to open the account based on the beneficiary account, then they have nothing. They have absolutely no jurisdiction whatsoever when it comes to the law. This is why I impose everybody about the data elements. That is a customs code and is based on entry and declaration. If you don't make the proper declaration, then things can be presumed. I don't let presumptions ride. So after months of trying to get this taken care of, they finally sent me an email saying my tax identification needed to be updated. Update your tax ID. Sorry, I gave you current tax identification when I entered the account. Just because I changed something on the account doesn't mean I need a new tax ID. No one else can declare that. Can declare that. I declared the Keith Orland Little FBU as a faith-based union private foundation, and that is already presumed. And somebody else made a false declaration that I owe taxes. Okay, so that was the whole point. And nobody could understand that until I got on the phone. I spent 4 hours with this woman, and I made a new friend. And believe you me, people, if you think Paul got an earful, Catherine on the phone yesterday got an earful for a full half hour before I finally settled down and said, okay, I'll give you the opportunity to take care of this on the phone. Because I do not want to go to the International Bank of Settlements. But if I have to, and you dick around with me anymore, I guarantee you, I will hang up and go straight to the International Bank of Settlements. You've already got your private notice. You already got your public notice. I've made my declaration, and you cannot defeat it. You are not the one that's allowed to make a declaration on the Social Security number. I am. Myself and the Social Security Administration alone are the only ones allowed to make that declaration. And I made my declaration June 12th of 2020 when I made my statement of separation. I, formerly known as Keith Orland Little, or Keith Orland Minaj Carnary Little, and now known by El Hotep Pero, I named myself, do hereby make the following statement of separation from employment of trade or business, otherwise known as performing the functions of public office, within or without the Department of State of the United States, information agency and instrumental constructs. This is the Interstate Identification Index. It's all of your licenses, IDs, and everything. As used herein, the term employment, because you need an ID to be employed, and if you don't have an ID, they will allow you to use the Social Security number so you can get an employment ID. It includes all periods of assignment or detail. Assignment or detail. It's an assignment. An assignment is done in trust by the grantee, granting an assignment as a trustee. You walk into McDonald's, McDonald's is the grantee. If you fill out an employment application, he will assign you details to perform, as well as any periods, and that is a trustee position. I guarantee you, you need a ID. That is a trustee position for a commercial transaction, and you are not operating as a beneficiary if you sign. That's why it's called an assignment, as signed, as well as any periods, temporary, part-time, or intermittent employment therein. And the term separation includes any suspension for any period of in excess of 30 days, retirement from commercial activities. Folks, you don't need somebody else to tell you you can retire. You can retire from commercial activities anytime you want. I quit 6 years ago. I retired 6 years ago. Closed all bank accounts and everything. Entry into disability or pension programs of which benefits are guaranteed for prior consideration, whether duly paid as a contribution or not. I have in my possession only documents, instruments, which I am allowed through prior consideration for actual benefit by and through equal rights among the laws. I shall not publish nor reveal to any person any classified or administratively controlled information of which I have knowledge. I already told him I wouldn't do that. I have to stick to my word. I will not give you any information. If you need further information, you need to talk to the IRS, who you communicated with, and you also, I suggest, need to talk to Social Security Administration, where the number originates from the state level, because you had no permission from them. None. They did not make that declaration. I made the declaration because I was authorized to do. You making a declaration without my consent or the consent of Social Security Administration and going straight to IRS is an intimidation tactic, trying to get the IRS to hound me. They didn't know about me until you called them, until you gave them information. Or any other information transmitted to myself in confidence. Confidence. Confide. Fidelity. That's the fidelity bond I was speaking about in the video the other day. In the course of any performance, contracts, leases, bids, awards, rewards, etc., except as may be authorized by the officials of the employing department or agency empowered and conferred by federal executive order granting permission to disclose such information. And again, that's the Department of Defense Birth Registration and the Social Security Administration upon the assignment of a Social Security number to a newborn child. That is the record-keeping division under which all other identifications are required. That is an association of their public office. I hereby advise all principals, agents, actors, participants, performers, interlopers, interveners, officious intermeddlers, etc., to heed the criminal penalties related to United States government records. See, you're dealing with government records. I don't have any records. Information and the use thereof as a matter of national importance. Violations often committed, but not limited to, by officials, officers of the court, and participating agents not learned in the law. 18 U.S. Code sections as follows. Public money, property, records. See, we're not dealing in my private money. We're dealing in public money known as fiat currency, a military script from the Department of Defense. Gathering, transmitting, or losing defense information. That is defense information if it came from the Department of Defense. Gathering or delivering information to aid foreign government if you are not specifically part of the government. And you are operating as a corporation in contract with the government. That contract proves you are foreign to the government. Otherwise, you would be included in the government contract already and be one of the contractors. Disclosure of classified information. You took Social Security number, classified information, and transferred it to the IRS without the authority to do so as a corporate entity. That classified information is only allowed to be gathered and transmitted by government entities, not people aiding foreign governments. See, you gather and deliver information to the government according to declarations. You can't make that declaration yourself. Diplomatic codes and correspondence. Again, because you're a foreign corporation, you must use diplomatic codes, because if you communicate with the government and you turn around and cause problems for one of the government's people, you are the foreigner. Can't leave my door open like that, dude. So, without using the diplomatic codes and corresponding with me first to make sure that their declaration is proper, they violated the international law. And that's what I pushed. Disclosure of confidential information generally. That FBU is confidential. And they recognize this because IRS had no record of it. And they exposed confidential information to the IRS. They breached the trust. And then it goes on, and you can read this. It goes on with all the other stuff, and it talks about tampering. And this is tampering with a witness. I'm a witness to the record, and they can't tamper with a witness. Okay? So let's go back up here. I want to show you guys something, because in the interim emails, after they sent me a notice that my tax information had to be updated, then they sent me a notice saying that they locked my account. They locked my account. And this is the email that I got it from. I've never seen emails like that. So that was disconcerting enough. But then they sent me the next one. And look at this email, guys. And this I was livid. The first part is fine. Again, just confusing. But I was livid when I read the name of regret. You're going to send me an email in the name of regret? As if though I'm going to regret what I'm doing? I think you have it badly mistaken. So as I said, I spent 4 hours on the phone with Catherine yesterday. She got an earful, twice as much as what Paul got the other day, and still put up with it. And then we worked things out. 3.5 hours later, she's my friend. She's viewing the site. And guess what, folks? I now have somebody sharing my site because I woke her up directly from the email that I sent to John Rainey as a notice. She contacted me from John Rainey's office. So she herself is one of the attorneys who knows the laws and is pushing this stuff. And I was one of the very few people that's ever been able to get her to comprehend that, hey, maybe they are doing something wrong. So now I have a new friend sharing my site, and I have a resolution. It's coming in a week. I'll be posting my new PayPal link here hopefully later today. I've got an email that I've got to open up from Catherine, so I can do a video for everybody else showing them how to open up your PayPal account with the same process to make sure that it doesn't happen to you. So be paying attention. I've got to go do another Zoom here in a little bit. I'll be busy for a while, but later on today I will be doing a video showing everybody how to open a PayPal account. And if you've already got a PayPal account and need to change it, I guarantee you'll have to shut it all down and open a new one. Okay? That's the only way it's going to work. So I'll have the instructions, and I'll be doing a video on that later. In the meantime, remember, if it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't be doing this. God bless. Love you. Have a great day, and we'll see you later.